Think about the 45-year-old manager down the hall. They've quietly amassed more wealth in their 401k than most people dream of, yet they still drive a rattling 15-year-old sedan and act like a single unexpected medical bill will put them on the street. Now look at the 30-year-old professional living downtown. They pull down a six-figure salary, take international vacations, and live in a luxury apartment. But despite everything, they still physically tense up before they check their bank account on a Tuesday morning. The math we were all taught suggested this shouldn't happen. The old formula said that once your income crossed a certain threshold, financial anxiety would naturally disappear. You hit the number and you get emotional safety. But that formula stopped working a long time ago. What we have instead is a modern economy that regularly produces high-earning professionals who secretly feel entirely broke. We've managed to scale income, but left emotional security behind entirely. These seemingly contradictory behaviors, the wealthy penny pincher and the panicked high earner, aren't signs of financial illiteracy. They are highly rational, specific psychological defense mechanisms built by people who realized the economic system they inherited is rigged. Look at the baseline expectation from the 1980s. You worked hard for a single company, and in return, you got security explicitly mapped out in defined benefit pension plans. These rigid agreements were ironclad promises. Then 2008 hit, evaporating those guarantees and destroying institutional trust. They watched loyal colleagues who'd been at the same desk for 20 years get handed a cardboard box and marched out with zero warning. Psychologists call the resulting mindset defensive pessimism. When you watch the rules change overnight, your brain adapts by assuming total disaster is always just around the corner. You prepare obsessively because assuming the worst is the only way to ensure you survive it. This exact trauma is what drives today's massive surge in secondary income streams. Your neighbor with the consulting gig and the Etsy shop isn't working at midnight because they have a burning entrepreneurial ambition to quit their 9-to-5. They're doing it because they are terrified of depending on a single paycheck. It is financial insurance. They maintain multiple jobs to build a reinforced escape tunnel, precisely because they learned the hard way that the main exit can be boarded up at any moment. This paranoia creates a fascinating split in how money gets spent. The same person who clips coupons and refuses to carry credit card debt will turn around and drop thousands of dollars on a single weekend trip or concert tickets. It looks hypocritical, but it's a strategy called experiential hedging. If you believe your 401k can get slashed in half and your home value can crater, you realize physical assets are fragile, but the memory of a Pearl Jam concert, a bank cannot foreclose on that. Experiences offer a guaranteed return on investment. On the flip side, we have the modern high earners defense mechanism, performing stability. Here, people use rapid lifestyle inflation and luxury purchases to build a fragile public armor of success. The attention economy weaponized basic utility. An apartment serves as an identity, and clothing acts as a visible receipt proving you belong in a specific tax bracket. The trap here is a hidden psychological tax. Once your purchases become your identity, taking a step back feels emotionally agonizing. Even if your finances demand relief, downgrading a car or moving to a cheaper zip code feels like a public failure. So the massive salary gets entirely consumed by the maintenance of that image. The momentum has to keep going to just keep up appearances, leaving exactly zero capital left over to buy actual security. Whether it's hoarding cash to buy untouchable concert memories or leasing a luxury car to prove you aren't falling behind, both behaviors stem from the exact same place. They are frantic attempts to purchase safety in a world that feels deeply unstable. The quiet tragedy of all this effort is the outcome. In the rush to buy security through status symbols and late-night side hustles, millions of people simply bought themselves relentless, exhausting pressure. This diagram maps out financial trajectories over a 20-year timeline, and it illustrates a concept called psychological oxygen. Oxygen is the critical, life-saving margin that exists between a person's income and their fixed lifestyle obligations. Look at this top line. This represents visible success. The spending spikes rapidly to match the high income, paying for the luxury upgrades and the premium zip codes. But notice the vibration in the line. The system is highly leveraged, completely fragile, and vulnerable to even a minor economic shock. Contrast that with the bottom line: quiet stability. Here, individuals intentionally keep their monthly obligations low. Over time, that smooth, flat line creates a steadily widening gap between what they earn and what they owe. That empty space on the chart is the psychological oxygen, expanding their emotional and financial flexibility. This is why people who achieve genuine financial security often become less visually impressive over time. They intentionally abandon the exhausting need to perform their success for strangers, keeping the older car and the smaller apartment because they value the breathing room more. This creates an internal state of resilience. When someone refuses to redline their income to maintain an image, they become calmer, slower, and much harder for the system to manipulate. Real security manifests as the complete disappearance of fear when you wake up in the morning, carrying far more weight than how expensive your life appears on the outside.